Hey, Boaz here with Next Pittsburgh. We're here in Shadyside getting an exclusive tour of a private garden. So I first saw this garden a few years ago on a garden tour, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. And today, the garden's owner, Carole Kamin, has generously agreed to show us around. So Carole, how long have you been gardening here?
40 years.
Wow. And so what was it like when you moved in?
Mr. Firth, he was a person who always put tulips in. This is my understanding, the story goes.
And he was the person who lived here before.
Yes. So I've kind of carried on that legend, having spring parties myself.
And you plant how many thousands of tulips?
About 7 to 10.
Wow.
And I repeat it every year and then have a pop-up party.
And we came a few months ago to film the tulips in bloom, and they looked incredible. Wow. And then, with tulips, you also have to then dig them up and replant them the next year. It's not like they keep coming back.
I don't bother digging them up. It's just a matter of, if they happen to disintegrate, they'll help the soil, and I just replant.
For the rest of the year, too, after spring, it also still looks phenomenal. So there's a lot of other gardening, too, in addition to the tulips.
Normally, what would happen here is I would let the Antiquenicotina grow wild, and I'd have like the 6-foot blooms from them, and of course, a sweet scent in the evening would always be wonderful.
And that's like a tobacco plant, essentially.
It is. It is. And we have these plume poppies. They were called Big Jim. They grow to be about 10 feet tall. You can see they're leaning over it back there. I must say there's one thing that I wish that I had not done years ago.
Yeah.
It was buying that one plant from Track Farms. And it turns out it's that bishop's weed. And it is just the nastiest plant. They should be outlawed because that's over there. And if we don't get it out of there soon, it'll bloom. And then we'll have those thousands and thousands of seeds that are going to go all over the place once again.
Yeah.
We have a wonderful Mulion in our garden, and I love it. I'm from northern Michigan, and that you can see along the roadsides. And so I have this summer a little group of 5 of them, which I'm really happy that they're there because I like that vertical.
Yeah, they look great. It's really structurally just beautiful.
Yes. One could almost think it's sort of like a cactus growing, like you've seen those cactus which grow really tall. Right. So there is the temple from the David Smith studio in London.
Like, did they put this on a boat? How did they even get it here?
I'm not sure how it was shipped. More than likely it was on a boat because you can see it probably weighs a lot.
You're not checking that in as your luggage, on a Delta flight.
No. And it was sent in metrics. And so that was a difficult challenge to find somebody who would be able to actually install it using the metric system.
Oh, God.
But it worked.
Yeah.
And it's been there, and it's a lovely addition to the yard.
Well, it's gorgeous. Do you come, drink your coffee here in the morning?
Yes, or a drink in the evening.
Yeah. Were all these water features and waterfalls here when you moved in?
No, they've been here about 2 years now. My husband said we'll never have any kind of a swimming pool in our backyard and what the normal swimming pools look like, but this is a swimming pool. And it has the pressure so that you can swim against the pressure. And so it looks like something that you would see out in the forest, in the woods, which I really like. And I had the bottom, the lining, I'd had silver mica put in there. So it looks like we maybe were out in a pond somewhere near the woods, and here you've discovered the fool's gold. There is a fountain that goes into the swimming pond, and it almost gives the illusion that it's this water from this koi pond that goes into there, but it's not.
There's different pumps sort of bringing it from elsewhere.
Right, exactly.
Gosh, so sneaky. It does really feel like we have this, sort of wooded creek, coming through and going right into the pool.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's fun. The reason I have these alligators' heads around here and the owl is because we had mallard ducks a few years back. Sure enough, in a couple of days, there was a nest out here over in that area. But meanwhile, not wanting to have another set of eggs because my husband couldn't get in and swim because of the duck being out here. That's why I have the alligator heads and the owl.
And this is gorgeous. I'm sure that looks amazing with all the rhododendron blooming, and now you have the hydrangea over there, which looks incredible.
Yes, it's really beautiful in the springtime. And again, something that comes out after the tulips.
Yeah. Well, you've really, staggered it in such a nice way. So there's, something exciting happening, every week of spring and summer and fall, I'm sure.
That's about it.
Yeah.
It's more like having a park here and living out in the country, because I think I pretty much succeeded in planting trees all around the yard. So it does give us the feel, and
I love this spot right here because it really feels like you're like in the woods in this magical little, I don't know, path. It just feels like we could be in like Hansel and Gretel or something.
Yes.
And then it's amazing you just sort of come into this clearing. It's just a beautiful transition.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Well, it looks great. It's just so dense, and I mean, there are a lot of natives in here too. I see the Joe Pye weed over there.
Which is lovely. I only have two of those lilies over there, but that was given to me by the director of the Morton Arboretum over by the University of Pennsylvania. Yeah. He had said that it was supposed to be the tallest daylily there was.
Whoa.
Oh, there's lots of bees, which is nice.
Yeah, this is really a pollinator magnet over here.
What I really need to do is get a beehive.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be good.
Well, you've got the space for it for sure.
Right. Yes, I do. And I bet the honey would be good. Yeah.
The deer ever broken in here?
They haven't come into the garden, but
Yeah.
they ate my tulips in the front this year and last year.
Yeah.
And my sister and brother-in-law live down the street here, and they have actually jumped their fences and gotten into their yard.
Thanks so much for the tour, Carole. This was amazing. You have such a beautiful garden, and thanks for letting us share it.
Yeah, well, happy to share with everybody.